Good morning, good morning. We are on our way to the Bavarian Bear House for the Audi Club of Tennessee's show. Never been to one of these before, so looking forward to checking it out with you guys. We'll see you when we get there. Gets old.
Little word, she's gonna be a flop.
Yeah, we weren't sure what to expect when we first pulled up. The parking lot was sort of empty, but everybody's over here.
They wanted the Audis just in this one here. They said to all the Audis to go in that row there.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, we have arrived finally. 2 hours later. This one's actually gated. Love that interior. Look at those carbon wheels. I'm gonna have to get me one of those. Probably one with the shift lights at the top. For a tax write-off, it's a solid pick. A little dusty. It's really cool how they sign that. EQS. These actually do light shows. You can actually do light shows with these onto the road in front of you. It's pretty cool. Looks a lot like an S-Class on the inside. It's like really comfortable seats. I don't really know too much about these. I'm not a huge EV fan personally. It's an EQE, not an EQS. You see the angle on the hinge? It's 90 degree. This is basically a mini R8. You see TTs around a little bit, but TTRSs are kind of rare. This one's definitely had a lot of work done to it. I like the color combo personally. I think Stradman would agree. The blacked out emblems, need to do that to the R8. I like how it's painted. It's like actually painted in the middle and then on the side of the seats. That's really cool. I think the only other car I've seen that's like has painted interior panels like that is Garen's C6 Corvette. Well, this is the first one that I've seen that actually has the same wheels as mine. Most of them you see that has the kind of two-tone black and chrome. I'm gonna have to get some carbon pieces for the inside of mine. That looks really cool.
Shout out to Will on Snapchat or Instagram. Follow Will.
If you wanna follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you get sneak peeks before the video comes, because this video is not gonna come out until about a week. Okay. Anyways, you want those little sneak peeks, follow me on there. Somebody took a little Polaroid of it. Those cars are so timeless. I mean, now this is a new one, but still, I mean, 15, 20 years, this will still be a cool car. And Gentani just came out with the F1 style exhaust for these, and it just screams. So this car was at 111 Motor Cars whenever we recorded our first video, and I missed it before the guy left, so I regretted not getting to record this one, but here it is again. There's really no telling what year this car is. I mean, they're just like the GT3 RSs. I mean, it's just so timeless. We'll try to find the owner of it.
Check out the interior of this.
Yeah. German Motor Works. I'm gonna assume this is the owner's car, old Porsche Roadster. I think this is the first one of these that I've ever seen. It's amazing how far cars have come from something like this. I mean, this is basically a fancy go-kart by today's standard.
This car is, the color of it's called Velvet Purple, and it has an ABT package on it. This was one of the 125 models. There's only 125 R packages in the world. Out of all the R6s, there's only 6 in the world with the Velvet Purple. This one is 125 out of 125. It's the last one ever made.
That's awesome.
It has 805 horsepower, 4-liter V8 twin turbo. And not a lot of them came with the Matrix headlights, where when you're driving, it'll block out the cars.
I'll throw up an animation on the screen to show you what he's talking about. It's a really cool feature that Audi has. I wish my R8 had it.
This car also came with a Audi exclusive interior. So it has the carbon fiber everywhere, all the ABT stuff, Audi exclusive. It has a yellow headliner, and it has heating, cooling, and massaging seats on it. The massaging seats are great.
What year is this?
This is I believe a 21.
Okay.
model.
This thing's only a year newer than my R8. It has a whole lot more functionality to it.
This
It's
has,
awesome.
this I think has like 10,000 miles on it. It has a full round PPF on it. The guy wanted 140, I think, and we stole it for 103. Pretty good deal.
That's awesome.
We put Voigtsteiner, the forged wheels on them, and these are also the biggest production brakes that were ever made on any car.
Now, those Vorsteiner wheels, I want to say Stradman has used those for a couple of his cars. I've never seen inside of one of these. Obviously, I expected it to be really nice, but you would never, like, I feel like in the hierarchy of the R vehicles for Audi, a lot of people would unknowingly view this as being kind of beneath the R8, but I don't know that you would. This is right in line with the R8.
5 horsepower.
That's awesome. Because my R8 right here is at 700. That's with a tune, and that's with a titanium exhaust.
I love how the brake disc, how it has the little curves in it.
Yeah. Somebody pointed that out the other day. I didn't even notice it. I hope I never have to buy rotors for it.
So usually all of this stuff would be plastic in it, and they replace everything with carbon fiber. This car's definitely fun to rip around in. You wouldn't expect it to be as fast as it really is.
Yeah, 4-door wagon family car that's got more horsepower than an R8. So we're gonna test this new camera out. Not new to Harrison, but new to me. So we're gonna check out and see what the quality looks like, but I wouldn't get used to it unless you guys watch more of the videos. Then maybe we can have Harrison bring camera equipment like this on the regular, but can't really afford a, what is that, an R5? Yeah, can't afford that right now. So as I say that next to an R8. Is this your car?
No, I wish.
I'm not real big on the older body style. I know I said in my first video, it is kind of what set the R8 on the map with Iron Man and everything, but I do like those wheels a lot. Advent Racing GT wheels. This one's automatic. You don't see too many of the gated manuals. I think there's only one here at this show. Akrapovic or Akrapovich, I think is how you might say that exhaust. We might be out of luck on finding more people to interview, unfortunately. During the show, it's kind of difficult to find, you know, who owns what. I've asked several people if they brought a car and they've said no, so I'm not sure who to ask really. I'm gonna try to catch a couple of people before they leave though. I don't even feel like I'm following him, but I am.
How long do you want this to be?
Just
A minute, 2 minutes?
Just whatever you want to say about it.
I can talk for 4 hours. This is a 1956 219, which is a 6-cylinder engine with 1 carburetor. They also made a 220S with 2 carburetors and another 5 horsepower. This engine has 100 horsepower. That's about it. It's modern in some respects in that it's an overhead cam with a cast aluminum oil pan with cooling fins on it. It's got independent rear suspension. The heater and vent controls are completely separate for passenger and driver. I bought the car when I was 23 years old and I'm 82 today. So that's a long time. I drove it as my primary car for 25 years and it's part of the family. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, and I've got fortunately thousands of parts for these old cars because back when they were cheap and I could buy them cheap, I bought 3 other cars and got rid of the bodies, but I saved the parts that were important. And so I have quite a stock of parts. That's about it. And the car's my primary driver for 25 years. It's been all over the country on the east, but I've never taken the car out west. So that's kind of the story on the car.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these before.
No, you probably won't. Like I say, it's got a full factory sunroof, which makes it pretty unique. Most of these cars, like I say, rusted out because the sunroofs were not maintained and they leaked down the A-pillar. And it has a sheet metal unitized body, so that's all part of the modernness of the car. It's pretty rare for 56. Then the engine and transmission mount on a subframe, which is rubber mounted to the body. So if water gets down into the frame, it'll rust out. I protected this every year by spraying oil into the sheet metal frame, so this one's in good shape.
Yeah, you would definitely have no idea this thing is as old as it is. I mean, it's in better shape than some modern cars.
It's fun to drive, and what's surprising is that it'll cruise comfortably at 70 miles an hour all day. I remember driving it when I was young at 80 miles an hour. You know, I remember I was going from Michigan, headed east, and I got it with a whole bunch of fast-running cars back in the day, and they were running 80. I did too. It's an amazing old car. Any other questions you had?
This looks like something that would be predominantly in somewhere like London. Did you import it, or did you buy it here?
This was bought first by a man that was in the military in Germany, brought it to America. I bought it from the man that bought it from him in 1967. Actually, I was 23 at the time. That's a long time. I probably have the longest continuous ownership of any car out here.
Yeah, even the interior is...
Now the interior is about 50 years old, so that's not the original interior, but it's like the original interior. I had it reproduced the same. And it's got 4-speed on the car.
We're looking at this. We checked this out earlier. It's a, what year is this?
19.
It's a 19 TTRS. Just gonna have the owner here talk a little bit about it. She said that she's had this car, she bought it brand new, and you have 101,000 miles on it. You would not be able to tell. I mean, it is a fresh wrap, like she told us earlier, but still, I mean, you cannot tell. Even on the interior, I mean, this thing is...
Yeah, the interior, he actually just wrapped that as well. The strips here used to be red.
Okay.
So he did all of that white, and he did it by hand. Turned out amazing. Drew with DT Wraps did it. He's in North Carolina.
I don't know if you watch YouTube much. Have you watched Stradman before?
Yes.
That kind of reminded me of him. He likes the color combo, the pink and the white.
Yes. This color is actually coral red. So it's not pink, even though it resembles pink. But, you know, I wanted something a little different because the first time I wrapped it, it was pink. And then I went a little crazy on the second one. Now that's back to simple and clean.
Yeah.
So.
I always like whenever people, if you mod a car, you know, a lot of people do wrap and wheels, but the little accents is what I like the most. I mean, swapping the emblem out,
yes,
the vanity plate, you know, things like that you don't see as often.
Autobahn Queen, and I actually have my wheels stamped. They say Autobahn Queen on them as well.
I noticed that, yeah.
So something a little different. I do have a few bubbles I got to work out, but we're working on that. This is actually colored PPF, so it's a couple different layers. It's thicker than the normal vinyl, and it lasts about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm hoping to learn. We're building a shop right now, primarily for the YouTube channel. But the garage is it's been a task because, as you know, Tennessee has had more rain this month than we've had in the month of May since like 1926.
Exactly.
So it's getting the crane in there because my ceilings are 18 feet tall in the garage, so we can have lifts.
Wow.
And getting a crane in there to put those trusses up, it's just almost impossible because it just sinks in the yard.
Right, that's tough. I work in construction as well, commercial actually, so know all about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. Well, that's cool. You have an R8 as well? Very cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I've only had it about 5 months. I had an R35 GTR before that, and I traded it for that.
Wow.
I was really on the fence about it because I love the GTR, and I thought I would miss it, but I really don't.
No?
No.
Is it stick shift?
No, it's automatic. It's the all-wheel drive V10, of course.
Nice.
I have a Fab Speed titanium exhaust on it, and it's tuned, so it's at like 700.
You want to race?
We can.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a little heavier than me, but yeah, this car goes. I think
bet,
it's got
yeah.
about 600. So I also have titanium exhaust.
Yeah, I mean 600 with that difference in weight, it would
2,900 pounds versus I don't know what you are.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know it's in the threes. I just don't remember.
I mean, I'm stage 1 E85. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not even running the E. I'm just on 93 pump gas.
See, we would have a good race then.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that?
All right. That'd be good for your channel.
All right, so we're here with Jonathan with his 2007 Rolls-Royce. I think I overheard you say that you did a bit of a work kind of refurbishing the car.
Quite a bit. I came to own it because the previous owner didn't want to repair it anymore because the price updates in the automotive world for parts went through the roof on some specific parts on this car, mainly the high pressure fuel pumps. They more than tripled in price in a 2-month window. So what used to be $5,000 a piece went to over $17,000 a piece.
Did that happen because of COVID or the tariffs, or?
What I think is happening is some of it's COVID still, where the world supply is running low, because there's usually a backstock of parts in warehouses around the world, depending on who it is.
Yeah.
Once they run out, either they have to get them manufactured by the same company, and a lot of times they have to find a different manufacturer. So then you got to start up again, and the costs are just that much more now to try to make a very small number of parts, in theory, for someone to be able to make money, and the prices just go through the roof, because those pumps are used on this engine and then roughly the same year BMW V12 engine. It's just a little bit different variant.
Did you put the wheels on there?
I put the wheels on there because it had some, in my opinion, very ugly 24s on it.
Yeah.
And I wanted something a little bit bigger and more than what the factory was for the same money or less.
Yeah, they look really good on it. We were trying to figure out earlier what size they were.
They're 24s. It's kind of one of those bucket list things. I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
I'll drive it for a few weeks and put it up for sale, because it gets a lot of attention, and some good, some not good.
Yeah, I get that. It was that way. I had a R35 before the R8. It was that way, and it's even more so in the R8. Most of it's positive. The first week I had the R8, somebody spit on it. I had it parked in a parking lot, and I came back, and there was somebody had spit on the top of it. So
I'll come to the car show, but I'm not going to come shopping here in it, because lo and behold, someone will do that, key it, call it jealousy, whatever. Just, you know, I fell into the car. I didn't go stroke a huge check for it. I got it because it needed work. That's how I get a lot of my stuff.
yeah, that's. I felt, you know, that was probably the mindset for the person that spit on my car, but you know, it's
unfortunate.
I worked for everything that I have. I mean, I wasn't born into it either.
Yeah, like my dad had a shop when I was a kid. That's how I came to work on cars.
Yeah.
So I've been in the car business my entire life.
What's the fuel economy like on this with it having a V12?
It's probably 10 miles a gallon.
Other than just, I know you said you made a couple of repairs and stuff to it. Is it pretty reliable otherwise once it's?
It is. I mean, this car's got 33,000 miles, so obviously it sits a lot. I do see a lot of people that don't maintain their cars, or don't think they need to maintain their cars, and it just snowballs out of control. Now, obviously, with sitting, other things happen. You know, just because it's not moving, it's usually worse for it, because it's not getting, you know, its legs stretched, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like I did the first round of repairs, put a few miles on it. I was driving it, and one of the alternators locked up and threw the belt. So this car's got 2 alternators, so I got 2 new alternators and ordered all the belts and whatnot from the UK, and finally this week I got it back running. I'll drive it a little bit and cycle it some and see if it needs anything else. So hopefully not. It was about 30-something grand in repairs thus far.
Well, I don't know what it looked like before, but I mean, it looks amazing now. So I mean, you guys definitely did great work on it.
I don't normally, obviously, have something like this. It'll be something a little more normal, if you will, but I usually get stuff that needs repair, or at least at this point I try to find stuff that I used to want when I was a kid. Like I've been on the hunt for some like late 90s, early 2000s, some Mercedes AMG cars, just because it's something I always wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
By today's standards, it may not be cool. It's just, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's, you know, I've said before in some of my videos, a lot of people may see the R8 and think I get that for status or for attention or whatever it is. For me, I grew up watching Fast and Furious. That's why I got the R35. For me, it's my inner kid that, you know, I kind of bring joy by getting stuff like that. And it's been a bit, I was on the fence about making the YouTube channel. I obviously decided to do it and bring people along for what I'm passionate about. But at the same time, it's, you know, it was a little hard to get started because I didn't want people to think, oh, I'm showing off all these cars because, you know.
Well, everyone's got an opinion, and most people are wrong. You know, they look at stuff from the outside in, and like even this, you know, I'm sure there's quite a lot of people that go, parents got money, or someone's got money, or it must be nice. I'm like, I go to the shop 7 days a week still. I'm there doing something at some point every single day. So, I don't do much of anything else. I work a lot, I go home, go back to work. At this point now, I've started taking some vacations just because, you know, I used to work 14, 16 hours every single day, and then it just gets to a point where it just, something else suffers.
Yeah.
So, and it's all, I always get a kick because you have people that have that view of things. I'm like, anybody can literally go out and do it. You just have to go do it. And it's not fun. It's not glamorous. Like, people can go look at this car, let's just say, and go, you know, must be nice. I'm like, okay, well, I've been working 7 days a week for the past 15 years. And this is just purely I fell into this situation. Wasn't looking for it. It just happened to happen. I mean, it took me 7 months to get the low pressure fuel pump. I had to get built in the UK because that pump is only for this car. There was none in the world, and I had to wait for a production cycle. So that was just one piece of the smattering of other things that it needed. You talk to Rolls-Royce, we're like, oh, it's 100% different than the BMW version, which the BMW version is a 6-liter, and this is a 6.75, and some of the air inlets are a little different, but they share a lot of the same technology because it's a proven technology. I mean, we have people that have $20,000, $30,000 bills, but they're fine with it as long as they know what they're getting.
Yeah.
So let's say the Ghost, for example. One of the things that happens on that car is the oil cooler lines will literally, they'll explode and just shoot all the oil out in a matter of seconds. That line from Rolls with the part number that is on the diagram now, one line's like $3,500 and the other one's like $3,800 just for that part. There is a different part number that I have found through just digging and digging that is still available, and that line is like $1,200 and $1,400 a piece. So you save 60% and the lines are the same. They're just different numbers. Stuff like that, I'm like, okay, well, I can get you $7,000 lines, or I can get these and they're $2,500. It's the same part. Well, yeah, I'm gonna save $5 grand and put it towards something else.
Yeah.
Same thing with like that car, we're putting an oil pan gasket on it, right? It's the same gasket that's on the BMW 760, so it's a fraction of the price. Engine mount, same thing, but it's a fraction of the price. You know, that car needs a differential bushing. Same thing from BMW. It's the same one that's used in the 5, 6s, the 7 Series, but it's a fraction of the price. So, from a business aspect, you know, I can still make the same margin and the customer saves thousands of dollars, so it's a win-win. You know, same thing on this car. I can get brake pads from a 760 and it's the same pad. That's what I did on this car.
Yeah.
And I don't have, it's not $1,000 in pads, it's $300, but it's literally the same part. And that works that way on a lot of cars. It's just, I do that on Bentleys too. The W12s, they need ignition coils a lot. Well, that coil's pretty much the same coil used on every Volkswagen Audi of the time period. So it's $100 and something a piece from Bentley, or I can do, you know, less than half for a Volkswagen or Audi part, and it's the same part number. So there's no, like, I've had a few people that want, you know, I want it to say Rolls-Royce or Bentley or whatever it is. That's fine. You know, just give you an option. You tell me what you want to do. You know,
Yeah.
lead people on this is what I would do. You know, if it were my car, versus like I refuse to put garbage on cars. You know, it's just, you're not saving money. You're just costing yourself more because it's going to end up failing, and then you're going to be mad. And you're going to be mad at me. For what? Because you thought you were saving money and you're really not.
I've heard that a lot about a lot of the parts that goes in the R8. You know, obviously it's a Huracan, basically the same car. Mm-hmm. And I was in the market for a Huracan and I got the R8 instead for a few different reasons. The front is already very minimal space in the front as it is. And the Huracan, the hood slopes off quicker, so you lose even more of that space. And then I've talked to some people about the older generation R8 that has shares a lot of parts with the Gallardo. You know, it's kind of the same story. I mean, it's the exact same car, different emblems, but you're paying that Lambo tax. You know,
there is, you know, obviously the body parts are different prices, et cetera, and you get the tax on it too. But like, from a performance aspect, like for the money you save on getting the R8, it's just as good, if not better. You know, R8's one of those things, you know, you slap some turbos on that car on a factory engine, you have 1,200-1,400 horsepower. You don't have to do anything else. I mean, you'll eventually break something, but yeah, overall, it's hard to beat. Like, especially bang for buck. It's like I was talking earlier about like the Mercedes AMG GTS. Like that car dropped in less than half its value now. That car is so much car for the money. You know, that car you do turbos and tune and downpipes on it, you have 1,000 horsepower. Like, why not? And the car's 60 grand to buy. Why would you not do it? And it's got dual clutch trans. It's 50-50 roughly weight distribution because the trans is in the back. And it's just, finding the ins and outs of it. I'll get rid of this and get something else that blends in more.
I've been to a lot of car shows, and I see a lot of Lambos. I've seen Pagannis, Bugattis, but R8s, GTRs, I mean Rolls-Royce. It's just, you got those, little niche cars that you just don't. I think the only other Rolls-Royce at a car show that I've seen was at SEMA.
Kind of getting off subject, but the U.S. is the greatest nation in the world. You can do anything here, period. I don't care what it is. It's equal opportunity, not equal outcome. It's all in what you put into it.
Yeah.
And you will not make it overnight. I don't care. You fail once, fail twice, 10 times, whatever. And it's gonna suck and you're gonna doubt yourself. And just keep going. People are gonna laugh at you. People are gonna say why, or must be nice. Mom and dad's money bought it, or just this or that. But everything's attainable if you put work into it. My dad's a mechanic. My dad had a shop when I was a kid, and that's just, I'm just doing it in a different area, different demographic.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, my dad's one of the best mechanics I've ever met in my entire life. And other people that know him will say the same thing. It's not just because he's my dad. But like, never wanted for anything. People can look down upon me for all I care. I don't tell people I own anything. I will literally just tell people to go talk to somebody up front, because I'm usually in the back, still working on stuff for problem cars. Like I don't care if you know me as an owner or not. I just don't care. That may be the wrong way to view it, but I'm not looking for the status of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to be about it. With this YouTube channel and stuff, I'm building a shop. It's also going to be, it's a barn dominium that'll have like a 2,000 square foot garage in it, and I'm sure people will see that. And I'm not, if for you guys watching, I'm not doing any of this. I hope none of you get this idea. I'm not doing any of this to try to show off. I'm actually trying to do the opposite. Like he said, I grew up with, I have a great mom. My dad's doing great too. If I may make a video about go into the weeds with the history, but mom worked several jobs, put food on the table. I worked very hard for everything that I have, and I'm doing this not to show off, but to show you how attainable it is. Like, you seeing these kind of cars, this is not for just celebrities. It's not for just business owners. Like, it is attainable. Like, it's not easy to do, but you can do it.
A lot of people that own these cars are actually normal people.
Yeah.
They just have found their niche in life and they do well at it.
I met earlier, the interview we did just a few minutes ago in the video, it'll be a lot more recent for you in the video than it was for us, but we interviewed the guy with the RS6 Avant, the purple one that was here a little while ago.
I don't think I saw it.
And that guy runs, like, he's not the owner, but he runs Boost Logic.
Yeah.
And I've met Cody Walker, Paul Walker's brother from Fast and Furious. I've met him. I hung out with him at SEMA. I've met T-Pain. It's all these guys, like you said.
They're all normal people, actually. Like, they like cars.
Yeah.
Most people know Whistling Diesel.
Yeah.
Right. So I work on his cars, and because he puts it out there, a lot of people give him crap all the time about he's gonna fail, he's gonna this, it's his parents' money. That guy's one of the most normal people I know. Like, he didn't come from wealth at all. Normal dude, same thing. He found something he's good at, was able to make money at it. He's actually a normal guy, he's a nice guy. Like, there's a group of us that will do private track days in Bowling Green, like rent the track out. You get 20, 30 people together, it makes it, $500 for the day, and it's kind of like open track, right? And these guys range from like me to doctors, other business owners, and people that have, millions and millions and millions of dollars. They all go to the track. I have a BMW E46 M3 that I use on track. And I'll have anything from that, the 911 GT3s to McLarens to purpose-built cars. And no one cares. Everyone's cool with everybody. Everyone's there because they're in the cars.
Yeah.
Nobody compares bank accounts. You know, no one talks down anybody. There's one guy that will fly his helicopter in there and go track. Normal dude, other than he flew in on a helicopter, but super nice guy. He was there at 111.
Okay. Yeah, I did see his helicopter then.
Super nice guy. He just did well in life.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with doing well in life.
Y'all ready?
Okay. Hey, we're here with
Jeff Watson.
Spend a minute talking about your car. If you want to tell me just kind of the year and how you got it.
Yeah, this is a 1981 Porsche 911 SC. I got it actually through, it was kind of a weird scenario. I looked for it for quite a long time, trying to find a nice one. And I have a friend that's actually a mechanic that works on these cars, but they're very rarely for sale. And one day out of the blue, I'd kind of about halfway given up. And one day he calls me and says, hey, I've got a customer who's a judge that's got this car, and he wants it to go to someone that's wants to keep it and take care of it, and you were looking for it for so long. He said, I thought about you, and are you interested? I said, well, yeah. So he brought it over he actually drove it to see me at work, and 2 days later I went and test drove it because that was the first time I was working. I really couldn't leave. And then the following Saturday I bought it from the judge, and that's been about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I've had it ever since.
And you've enjoyed it?
I loved it. And it's not, you know, by today's standard, it's not a really fast car.
Yeah.
But it's fun to drive. It's fun to drive at normal driving speeds. And the best part about it is probably whenever you go somewhere in it, somebody says, hey, I love the car, or I used to have one, or my dad had one, or so usually you meet people over it and sparks good conversation. And when I drive it to work, if I leave it out for the day, almost every time that I do, when I come out, there'll be a business card or something left on it. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool to have something that, you know, that you don't see everywhere, or you just can't go buy one. You know, you can go buy a new 911.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, it's very expensive, but you can go buy one.
Yeah.
These, you really have to make some extra effort. So.
Well, you mentioned it, you know, it's not a super fast car in today's standard necessarily, but at the same time, I was made aware of this. I test drove a Tesla Plaid. As you guys will probably find out, I'm not huge on EVs personally, but I test drove a Tesla Plaid, and it's fast. I'll give it that. It is quick, but honestly, I have more fun driving. My brother at the time had a C5 Corvette. Nowhere near the Plaid speed, but had a blast driving it.
It's not about the speed.
It's not about the speed always.
It's about the feel.
Yeah.
And it's about the way the car sounds, handles, smells, you know, all those things. All the senses make a difference. And
yeah, it really does.
To me, you know, some people only care about speed, and if that's all you care about, then you can get a track car or a Tesla Plaid or whatever. But
yeah,
you know, if you care about, I enjoy the whole experience of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not about the speed.
Yeah, everybody has their different thing. I do like going fast. I don't really go to the track and stuff like that much, but we're going to the drag strip tomorrow. So the next video will be at the track in Ringgold, Georgia. So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Like I said, I looked for this car for a long time, you know, and I found a couple that were rough.
Yeah. And
the advice I got was, hey, wait, find a nice one and pay a little bit more money for it. Originally, I wanted to get one and fix it up, you know.
Yeah.
And the advice I got was, you know, you're better off just spending a little. You're going to spend that much money anyway, so
yeah,
let's get one that's better. And so I did.
So is this as it was 6 years ago? Did you do anything to it?
Yeah, pretty much. I've just taken care of it. I've only had to replace one part in 6 years. Changed the oil, brakes. I did have to rebuild a brake caliper. You can replace it for like $500, or you can get a rebuild kit for $35.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, at least I, you know, if it does work, you know, save $400. So So I actually rebuilt one of their brake calipers. Me and my stepdad did, and it worked out great. So we're going to redo the other side too. It doesn't need it, but we're going to do it anyway, just because it probably will. Yeah. So really, that's really that. And I've replaced one part. Just done maintenance to it, and it's been great.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a real solid cars. It's kind of unique with the engine being in the back. It's actually in the back, you know, behind the rear axle, not a mid-engine.
Yeah.
You know, the trunk's in the front. You know, kind of looks happy in the front.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people like it, I like it.
I don't know too much about the older cars. I've always been into the newer kind of exotics and stuff. So I like interviewing people about these cars because you know, it's both for the people watching and for, you know, for me too, because I'm not as knowledgeable on the older stuff.
Yeah, well, the older cars are a little bit simpler to maintain. They have less sensors and less electronics in there. At its time, you know, in 1981, this was a $35,000 car, which in 1981, that was a lot of money for a car. I mean, it's not by today's standards, but at that time, it was and it was considered very fast and exotic at the time, you know. So, but owning them now is just kind of like going back in time, and you know, it's a lot of fun, and you can still get out and drive them, and not to worry too much about it, you know. That's the joy I get out of it. Yeah.
How are the parts on it? Like, if you needed a part, are they readily available? Do you have time to find a parts car? Or?
What's cool about it is they're so popular. So many Porsche people. Porsche's such a big brand that, you know, so far you can still get a lot of the parts for it. There's companies that make them, and even Porsche still sells a lot of the original OEM parts because, you know, Porsche has something called the classic manufacturer.
Okay.
And Porsche restores their own. You can have this car restored by Porsche. Now, who knows what it costs? But they still have, you can still get basically all the parts for it. I mean, their Porsche is kind of cool like that. They stock everything back.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's really neat.
Yeah. If you're talking about going to the track, you know, a really fun day is the Porsche Experience Center in Atlanta.
I've heard that, yeah.
They actually restore cars there.
I know if you order a new Porsche, you can pay, I think it's what, $2,000 extra to have it delivered there, and they'll...
Yeah, they do a whole day, but you can go down there and just rent one of their cars. I've done it, it was a blast. Spend a day on the track with an instructor, have a restaurant there, they have a museum, but they also restore cars there. There'll be people there working on old cars like this.
We might do that in a future video.
That would be a great, in my opinion, would be, I did it a couple of years ago with a buddy. Me and a friend went down there and did it for our birthdays, and it was an awesome trip. And this is also one of 500 that was white, Carrera white with navy blue. Most of them have black or tan interior. It's got a navy blue to it. Another thing cool, the ignition on all 911s on the left. The keys.
Oh wow, yeah.
Most cars is on the right. You know?
Yeah.
It's called Le Mans start, where the drivers would run to the car, and they could start it and put it in gear at the same time. So they did it that way to save
a couple seconds, yeah.
And they still do it that way.
So I just wanted to make sure, he said this a second ago, I wanted to make sure that you heard it because it's pretty interesting, I think. On this panel on the side of the car here, it says manufactured in West Germany. That was while the Berlin Wall was still up, so there is no longer a West Germany. So that's that kind of puts the car, you know, as if you didn't already know the car in the time frame that it was in. That's just a little interesting Easter egg, in my opinion, to the car. That's really neat. Probably gonna grab some food. Well, I'll get the mic back from you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for talking to us about it.